Oh, hey guys.
What's up, pal?
Sorry, I had a little technical difficulty.
I'm shocked by that.
What? Like,
That'll do it.
I got caught in my fucking phone. I couldn't get it out for the life of me, bro.
Is that supposed to come off like that?
Fam,
No, that's no good.
nah.
Week 10 in the Always Sunday Football Podcast. It's crazy, right? Crazy to think that we're already at week 10, but here we are.
Sad.
With me, as always, Anthony. How you doing, bro?
Great. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for asking. Johnny, how about you, man?
Doing great, doing great.
Johnny is in the path of the storm once again, so we're recording a little early. It's okay, because both New York teams are looking really good. Speaking of looking really good, let's go back and take a look at our 3-pick parlays from last week. How'd everybody do last week? Anthony, how'd you do?
So, 1 for 3. I'm pretty sure I picked Moneyline Madness, and it wasn't good. I think the only ones I got were the Lions. Everything else was just shit.
So I actually won my parlay technically, but I only won 2 legs of it. The third leg pushed. So that's not bad. I got the money, so it counted, but it was only it was less than $1. So
closest we've been.
Exactly. So I had the Jacksonville Jaguars plus 2.5. Okay, they won it outright. I had the Tennessee Titans getting the points, and obviously we know they kept it close. That was a really good game. And the Vikings -3, and they won by 3. It was a push. So I actually won, but it was only plus 272. So it really didn't have, as we mentioned going in, the line wasn't really great. It was like plus 500 to go. So it wasn't even really that great to begin with. And then one of them pushed. So, hey, we're getting there. John, under in the Miami game. What are you talking about, bud? What are you talking about, bro? Falcons money line? John, what happened, bro? Jacksonville Jaguars money line was correct, though. So 1 for 3 on Johnny this week. We'll get him next week. Hey, look, we talked about getting better. We're getting better, guys. We are getting better. Okay. The collective we. 2 wins and a push. Whew, going to Sizzler. Actually, for 2 wins and a push, I should go to Long John Silver's.
Any place that's like all you can eat buffet for real cheap. King Buffet China.
The Golden Palace. No, what is it called? Golden Buffet, right? No, Golden Corral. Golden Corral. Week 10 in the NFL. Weird slate. Let's do it. We get to do the full slate because we're recording early in the week. Thursday night, the exciting 8:15 showdown between the Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. Panthers are 3-point home dogs, 44-point line. John, are you excited to watch this game?
Actually, the last time this team played, they scored over 30 points, both teams. So I'm really interested in the over on this game, and I'm going to take the points with Carolina. Really interested in this Thursday night game, actually.
Yeah, I like those. I like that stat out of you, John. I want to say that's probably a totally different teams now versus then. So I'm gonna go with the under, and I'm gonna take Atlanta here. Coming up with a little strive. Cordell Patterson, the monster, is back. I'll go with Atlanta.
This is really freaky because we're doing a full slate of games. John comes up with an awesome stat to start, and Anthony with a really, really lucid counterpoint. I don't know what's going on right now. I'm going to take the Falcons, and I'm going to take the under. Moving on to Germany. That's right. Moving on to Germany. 9:30 in the morning, East Coast. Lord knows what time it'll be in Germany at that time. I think it's probably something like 7 or 8 or 9 hours, 5 hours ahead. That doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, Buccaneers are the quote-unquote home team. They're favored by 2.5 points over the Seattle Seahawks. This line doesn't make sense to me either. 44.5 over under. John? How about them Seahawks?
Yeah, this is an easy one for me. This is definitely money line Seattle all day, every day. Seattle is just the better team this entire year. Just because the Buccaneers won yesterday. I mean, literally, 2 days ago on Sunday. Just not feeling this team. This team has a lot more to prove. So give me the money line for the Seahawks.
Anthony?
I like that. I like that. You know me and money lines, guys. You know me, and this one's actually one of the more realistic ones than some of the other ones for sure. Seattle's been pretty much lights out. You know, it's they're getting scored on. Tampa Bay still, like he said, even though they won, still little disheveled, if you would. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Seattle there, and I like to see this game going over in Germany. Give the Germans a show.
Love it. I'll take the over, and I will make it 3 for 3. I'll take the money line in the Seahawks. I think this one makes just too much sense. The Seahawks are playing great. Pete Carroll in the discussion for Coach of the Year. Geno Smith is just somebody has to check Geno Smith for his body being snatched by a completely different player. It's incredible. It's incredible. Seahawks all day. And Tampa Bay, they won that game, sure, but it was right at the very end. The Rams defense made no sense at the end there, so I can't give them too much credit for that.
Is this where you want to go? Like down here, right? Just come on.
This way, guys. This way.
Yeah.
Just
like
the landing guys at the airport that are landing. They're like just this.
It was like the defense. The defense we saw at the end of the Monday night game as well.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Houston Texans visiting the New York Giants, the red-hot New York Giants. Giants are 6.5-point home favorites with a 41-point over/under. Anthony.
So the 41 is another one, right? It's the one they leave at you to just touch it. Like the Giants haven't. I think they've scored over 20 points once, maybe twice this year. I'm gonna take Houston getting the points. And I'm gonna take this one. I'm gonna take this one going over, but I probably by 1 or 2 points.
Interesting. John?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Anthony with the points with Houston. I think the 6.5 is a little too much for me. But I'm going to go with the under this game because logic says that Houston hasn't scored a lot of points, hasn't scored over 20. The Giants haven't scored over 20. Both defenses are pretty decent. So give me the under in this game.
Yeah, I can see the under as well. I really want to pick the Giants here.
A covering?
But
that's the thing is they're going to win this game. But to me, it's, I don't think they're going to win by 6.5. Maybe they win by a touch, but it's too risky for my blood.
I'm going to take the Giants and lay the points. Let's see what happens.
Well, I like that out of you. You want this hoodie?
No. New Orleans Saints visiting the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers 2.5-point home dogs. 40-point over under.
How much more disgusting can you get with this game? I mean, the Saints didn't look too good. I don't think they've scored over 20 points in a couple of weeks. I know that Andy Dalton had that one good game, but the Saints of recently have not looked good, and they got smacked around by Baltimore. But Pittsburgh is also just as bad. So give me the under with this game because I don't think there's going to be a lot of points scored. But give me the 2.5 with Pittsburgh.
Interesting. Taking the Steelers with the points. See, the 2.5. Man, I don't know if that's enough for me. I'm going to jump in here and just take the Saints, go right against John here, and I'll take the over because 40 is a really low line. How about you, Anthony?
I'm going to agree. I think I was going to go that route. I don't know. I mean, Michael Thomas, irrelevant at this point. Jarvis Landry, irrelevant at this point.
He might be back.
He might be back, but still pretty irrelevant in my right. So, but they still have been putting in that work. They need somebody. It's just Kamara and Olave. But I think they could pull it through. I think they can win by a field goal, and this game goes slightly over as well. I agree.
Yeah, it's just the Saints. They don't look great at all. And when obviously when Olave and Kamara don't have huge games, they have bad games. You know what I mean? It's like either good or terrible. And the Saints are looking like, I don't know, man. I don't think they have long-term potential here. Playoff potential, I don't know. I don't know about that. 1:00, Cleveland Browns, Miami Dolphins, 48.5 point over under. And the Dolphins are at home favored by 3.5. This will be a fun game to watch. Your boy Jacoby Brissett making it fun.
Yeah, with this game, I'm going to go with the over. Both these teams can score some points, especially Miami and Cleveland with that run game. And they got a pretty decent pass game with Amari Cooper, a pretty balanced offense. Give me the over on this game, but I'm going to give me the points with Cleveland.
Do you think weather will be a factor at all by Sunday?
No.
No, not by Sunday. It'll be a clear, nice, beautiful day.
Yeah, I figured it'd be after.
How about you, Anthony? What do you feel about this game?
I definitely see the over here. You got one of the best running backs in the league right now going against the best wide receiver duo in the league. Both these guys are in top 5 argument. And I'm gonna take Miami laying down them points. I'm gonna take Miami in the over.
I like the over just because overs are fun, but I don't trust it. So I'm gonna go under. I don't know that Cleveland is going to be able to hang with Miami as far as scoring, but at the same time, Miami's defense stinks. It's going to get close to the number, but it's not going to go over the number, and Miami's going to win the game, so I'll lay the points there.
Yeah, I think from a lot of the season, their cornerbacks and safety, like 1-2, 1-2, just gone. You know, so it's equals good throwing against.
Justin Fields just had a field day.
Oh, look at John. Look at John.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, we'll get to that in the league breakdown, but yeah, the Dolphins gave it up, but they still won the game. That's the crazy part is both teams went berserk, and the Dolphins still hung on and won the game. So I think that's another situation where they can win high-scoring games, but if defenses can shut the Dolphins down or at least slow them down, they're going to have problems. I don't see the Browns being that defense, though.
No, very hard to do that against this team.
Yep, it'll be in the playoffs before somebody does it. Well, before they do it with any sort of effectiveness, because they're obviously not going to go undefeated for the rest of the season. However, they've been undefeated in every game that Tua has started and finished. So that's something. The Bills are at home hosting the Vikings. The Bills are 5.5 point favorites coming off of a shocking loss to the Jets. The Vikings are winning. They just keep on winning. So the Vikings are red hot right now. The Bills, they obviously have a point to prove. They're home. They're 5.5 point faves. John, what do you think? Oh, 45.5 point line. Sorry, go.
This game right now, is Josh Allen playing? I know that he had an elbow injury.
As of right now, there's no news that he's not going to be playing.
Yeah, he ain't soft.
If he wasn't playing, it would be front page headline news. You would have heard about it. Even on Tuesday, which is when we're recording this, I don't think that there's been anything that would indicate that he's not playing yet.
Okay. So with that being said, I'm going to lay the points with Minnesota, and I'm going to go with the over.
I'll tell you this. Just looking at that line, I don't think that the Bills would be favored by 5.5 points over the Vikings, the one-loss Vikings, if Josh Allen was not playing. I'll put it that way. I think it would be at least much closer to the middle than it is right now. Anyway, I'm sorry, John. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah. So Minnesota has been able to score some points. Their only losses against the best team probably in football. So I think this is a big test for Minnesota. I don't see them pulling out this game, but the points to me, I think they'll make this a little bit more closer than people think. So I'm going to lay the points with Minnesota, but I'm going to go with the over because both these teams can score some damn points.
Hell yeah. Same for me. Vikings with the points and the over. What about you, Anthony?
Yeah, same. John caught me with the pullout comment, but yeah, same for me. I think that addition with Hawkinson for Vikings, just like he came in last week, just like he's been there. Good for them. Got lots of weapons. They're gonna at least make it close, if not possibly win.
Yep, I agree. I agree. Jaguars, Chiefs. Chiefs, another fun game for them. Another big win right at the end. And the Jaguars coming off another win. They are now visiting Kansas City, and they're getting 9.5 points with a 50.5 point line. This game should be fun.
Yeah. See, like Kansas City, right, and the number one scoring offense. The Jaguars were great in the beginning, and they kind of went like a little chill. And now they're coming back. They got ATN. They're funneling everything around. 9.5 seems a little steep. I think that they're going to keep it closer than that. So I'm going to take Jaguars with the points here, and yeah, Kansas City could score, but they also get scored on. So I could see this going over, and I hope it does. Game of the week kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm going to actually lay the points with Kansas City. I think Kansas City is just going to be too much for Jacksonville. So I'm going to go with the points with Kansas City, and I'm going to go with the over because obviously Jacksonville is going to have to catch up. So lay the points with Kansas City, but I'm going to go with the over with Anthony.
I'll take the under just to go against you guys. I think another one where I think it'll get close to the number, but it won't go over because I think Jacksonville will ultimately get in a situation where they're trying to play catch up, and because they're just trying to throw, it prevents them from scoring at all. If you go away from ATN too much, I think Jacksonville is going to have a lot of problems. And so I will take the under there, and I will take the Chiefs and lay the points. Why not? Why not? Detroit Lions visiting the red-hot Chicago Bears. Bears are at home. They're giving 2.5 points with a 48.5 point line. John, riding high off of Justin Fields. How do you feel about this Lions-Bears game?
I think this game's going to be closer than what people think. I'm going to take Chicago with the points this game. But with that being said, Chicago's defense and Detroit's defense is not really good. I think they're one of the worst, especially with Chicago trading away both of their best defensive players. And Detroit just been bad pretty much most of the year. So give me the points with Chicago, but I'm going to go with the over because I think Detroit is getting healthy. Obviously, they traded away probably their best passing option, arguably. But they're going to have to figure out a way to score points. I think both these defenses suck. So there's going to be some points scored. So I'm going to go with the over.
I'm going to go with the Bears laying the 2.5 and the over. I think Fields has just been coming to his own the last 3 weeks. He's been QB1. He's just been, he's not throwing as like many yards. I think he almost ran more than he threw, but that's a threat that you can't. But look at Lamar. Look at all these guys that could run like that. So I think he's going to run all over the Lions, and I think the Lions are just going to be that team that just gives you a good game while they lose.
Yeah, he definitely ran for more yards than he threw for this last game. Yeah, I think the Bears will win this, so I will lay the points with the Bears. And another one where I think it'll get close to the number, but not go over.
You're just not fun this week.
No, I think it's fun. It's fun because I'm going against you guys.
Yeah.
Denver Broncos, Tennessee Titans, the last game on the 1:00 slate. Now, this is a weird line. Tennessee, in my opinion, only favored by 3 points when they could be and should be favored by more. 38.5 point line. John, how about them Broncos?
Yeah, I don't believe anything in the Broncos. Tennessee right now is just the better team. I'm going to give me the points with Tennessee. But I'm going to go with the under this game. Both of these teams have sometimes difficulty scoring. So I'm going to go with the under on this one.
Anthony?
I'm gonna agree. Yeah, Tennessee, better team. Denver's defense, for real, for sure. It's what I think what's kept them alive. I would love to see what Henry can do. Can he still produce that monster number against this D? And we're going to find out. I think they're just going to run into that defense, run the clock, low scoring game.
Yeah, obviously the Denver defense is legit. The offense still having problems. However, I think this line has a lot to do with Malik Willis being the quarterback. I think if it turns out that Ryan Tannehill is going to be available to play, the line swings like dramatically. in favor of Tennessee.
Like
So,
5.5.
oh, please, even more than that. So for that reason, I will definitely take Tennessee here, laying the 3.
Going against us?
The thing is, if I'm taking Tennessee with the 3, thinking that Tannehill could play because Malik Willis was, that bad, then I got to take the over, right? Because if Ryan Tannehill plays, then the over goes up. So I get over 38.5, and that's value. Well, I mean, again, it's a huge gamble because right now there's no evidence. Just like we said earlier, there's no evidence that Josh Allen's not going to play. We don't really have any evidence that Ryan Tannehill is going to play. But
sometimes you take the higher ceiling pick.
the other thing is that Malik Willis was just bad. Like he's completing like 6 and 7 passes a game. Like you just can't win that way. You can't win that way.
You talking about Willis?
Yeah, and he's going to look. And I don't care about the Denver Broncos, whatever they do on offense. He's going to look bad against that defense if he plays. He's going to look bad against that defense.
The offense could do poopy doopy, but the defense will rock your shit and win that game.
Right. Titans could win 3-0 in that game. They could win 2-0 because they sack him for a fucking safety. Colts, Raiders. This is another just gross game. Raiders are at home giving 6.5 points, 42.5 point line. I've been letting Johnny talk about the Raiders this year because he was big on the Raiders coming into the season. John, are the Raiders the worst team in football?
They have to be one of the worst teams in football. I mean, they don't even score points with this, especially when you have an offensive coach like Josh McDaniels and you can't score points. It's pretty embarrassing.
Speaking of coaches, before you go on any further, let's just put in right here that Frank Reich from the Colts did get fired, and they hired a dude straight up off the street. He was literally like behind the desk commentating. His last tweet was like, "The Raiders are really bad" or something like that, and now he's coaching against the Raiders in his first NFL game with no coaching experience on any level. He got hired off of a TV set by a drunk football owner to coach the team, and this is just a complete clown show at this point. With that being said, the Raiders are still not any lock to win this game. John, continue.
Yeah, man, this one's going to be a tough one, man, because dysfunction versus dysfunction.
Yes, well said.
But I'm going to go with give me the points for Indy because the Raiders are just that bad. So give me the points with Indy and give me the under because both of these teams are just, it's just been ugly, dude. Under. It's not going to be a lot of points scored.
Fair. Anthony?
I'm going risky over. Opposite. I'm gonna take the Raiders laying the points in this game. This game going over.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like that coaching thing has a big factor, right? Like for sure. I mean, I think they realized that they had this guy last week. He was playing. His name's Devontae Adams, and maybe they'll start using him and the guy Josh Jacobs in good place. And I think this is they're gonna do it this week.
Now, Devontae Adams, he had one of the weirdest games of the season so far. Did you see how he scored his points?
No, I only saw parts of it.
Do you know that he had a big game, right?
Yes. Because I have.
You know that he had a big game in the first quarter, right?
Like bomb wasn't like a bomb punt touchdown.
No. All of his statistics that he got, all of his statistics came in the first quarter. He had after the first quarter, he had 1 catch for 0 yards.
For the rest of the game, shit.
Yes, 3 quarters of the game. For the first quarter, he exploded, and we were like, "Oh my god, he's going to have basically the day that
Joe Mixon
feels that Joe Mixon had, or whatever." Yeah, and he ended up getting 1 target for 1 catch. No, sorry, 8 targets for 1 catch for no yards in the following 3 quarters of play. So no, they haven't discovered anything with the guy that's on their team. I'm sorry to say, they don't know what they're doing. They do not know what they're doing. I think that both of these teams, like this, should be a game where the losing team just gets fired into rocket, like put into a rocket ship and fired into space. I guess I got to take the Colts because if Jeff Saturday has any half of a brain, what he's going to do is go to the offensive coordinator and be like, "You're the coach of the offense." He's going to go to the defensive coordinator and be like, "You're the coach of the defense." He's going to be like, "You guys, let's all just like do what you want to do.
Our jobs.
Let's just get through this." Exactly. Do what you're supposed to do. Let's just get through this. So I'm going to take the Colts with the points because the Raiders are that bad where they might end up winning the game, but not by much. And over. Over. And you know what else? Oh, no. I think I told John, but there's a potential that Frank Reich got fired because he didn't want to play Sam Ellinger anymore because he wanted to go back to Matt Ryan, and the drunk was like, no.
Also,
Dallas.
I don't understand the hiring because they have John Fox on the staff and he has head coaching experience.
Bro. Okay, first of all, at first I was going to be like, dude, are you kidding, John Fox? But that's a statement in and of itself where you can be like, bro, you have John Fox in the building. How could you have chosen person X, right? If John Fox is such a dramatic step up from the person you actually chose, you fucked up. Right or wrong? Like
It is. I mean, it's an interim coach. I mean,
if you're like, you could have had John Fox, that's bad, bro. That's bad. But at the same time, you never know. Saturday could be like, I don't know,
amazing for sure.
Somebody made a point, and they were like, "Well, how would you feel if it was Peyton Manning and not Jeff Saturday?"
Still doesn't have coaching experience.
Agreed. But people would trust Peyton Manning more, I think, just on face value. Dallas Cowboys, Green Bay Packers, 425. Packers are at home, and they're only getting 5 points from the Dallas Cowboys with a 43-point over-under. Anthony, go ahead. How about them Cowboys?
I hate having to do this year because, Dallas and Philly are so good.
I love being able to throw it to you every week.
I know you do.
Cowboys.
I was picking up what you were putting down like week 2, fam. No, so the Cowboys laying the points. I think this game will go under. As it could go over, but I could just see it maybe going under because the Packers can't score in their D, and then they could just running on them.
I'm going to go with the same here. Green Bay just can't score points. I dropped Aaron Rodgers for a reason. They cannot score points, Green Bay, at all. It took me this long to drop Aaron Rodgers and realize that this offense is just absolutely broken.
You can't even get your good State Farm deals anymore, bro.
Absolutely. And why I'm going to go with the under is I think Dallas runs the football all day, every day, just to keep the ball away from Aaron Rodgers. And this is going to be a low-scoring game. This is going to be an easy game for Dallas. The defense is going to dominate the Packers' offense. This game's going to be ugly, low-scoring, in my opinion, because this is just going to be an easy game for Dallas.
A lot of what both of you guys said makes sense. I agree. Packers are a hard bet to make right now, so I'll take Dallas and I'll lay the points. I will go over just because, 43 is a lowish number, but I don't feel strong about it. But yeah, give me them Cowboys laying the 5. They're just a better team than the Packers right now. It's like Aaron Jones and log out. That's basically it for me. Packers, Aaron Jones, log out. Arizona Cardinals visiting the LA Rams. The Rams look like another team in shambles. They are actually favored in this game. Cardinals are getting 3 points, 43.5-point line. Cardinals honestly don't look that much better. We're looking at teams that just have coaches that don't know what the hell they're doing. These guys' heads are right up their asses.
It's going to be a tough one for me on this one, but some gut feeling thing. I'm just more. I don't know. It's just hard for me, man. But I'm going to say Moneyline Arizona. I think the LA Rams are broken. They're absolutely broken. I'm trying not to base it off how bad the Rams are, but the Rams look just that bad. After that Buccaneers game, how do you not want to put the money line on Arizona is what I have a question on. So I'm going to go money line with Arizona because the Rams look broken.
Yeah. I loved it when he said that. This is my money line madness of the week.
Ooh.
the Rams drank a giant cup of who the fuck cares, so this game to me is going to go over though. The Rams could still score some points. They have one of the best wide receivers in the league. They're still going to get a couple touch, they're still going to score. So I think 43.5 for this game is just too enticing not to touch and want it to go over and think it should.
Fair. Yeah, I'm gonna make it simple. I'm gonna go Cardinals in the over. I'll take the points there, and I'll take the over, just like that.
You're simple.
But the money line is nice. The money line right there, I love that out of both you guys. 8:20, the Sunday night game. Chargers, Niners. 49ers are at home, 7-point favorites. John, not excited to watch those Chargers in prime time. 45.5-point over under. I'm going to let Anthony go first. Heavily invested in the Chargers. Anthony, how you feel about the Chargers against my 49ers?
So another one of these teams that we talk about with coaching, right? Just like yes, they're killed with a couple injuries, but a giant, like, what the fuck, man? And I think if you notice, like, once Herbert had that injury where he had that bone situation, just hasn't played the same. And Niners picking up McCaffrey, I hate to say it, but I think they're gonna cover that spread there. Cover laying the 7. As much as I don't want to say it, I think the Chargers are just lost right now. So I'm gonna take the Niners laying the 7, and this game going over.
Yeah, I'm actually going to take the Chargers with the points this game.
Ooh.
Take the Chargers with the points this game. Yeah, I think that if the Chargers ever want to compete in this game, they're going to have to score some points. It's as simple as that. I think they're going to keep it closer than what people think, but I'm going to go with the over. I think San Francisco is going to be too much for them, but I think this game's going to be a little more competitive than what people think. I think the Chargers need to show something against this team. I don't think it's going to be enough. But I'm going to lay the points, the 7.5, the 7 there. I'll take it all day, every day. The Chargers are a talented team.
I'm going to take San Francisco. I will lay those points because I just think the Chargers are too beat up right now. They're talented if their players are healthy, but Williams out, Allen not likely to play. They're having trouble. Even Herbert not looking great, as Anthony mentioned. I'm going to take the 49ers, lay the 7, and I will go over. Because with McCaffrey and the rest of the offense being healthy, the Niners are going to start ringing them up. They're going to start ringing them up. And Monday night, Eagles, Commanders. Biggest spread of the week, 11 points. Eagles favored at home, 44-point over under.
Fuck them birds. About to go duck shooting. Huh? Eagles cover laying the points over. Caw-caw! Get out of here.
Yeah, I'm going to go. I think the spread's a little crazy, in my opinion. Taylor Heineke's actually played a really, really good game last week. So I'm actually going to go with the points with the Commanders. And I'm going to go with the under on this game.
Yeah, but A.J. Brown takes drugs, steroids.
First of all, that's not true. That's a sad lie. It's a sad lie perpetrated by people who just don't like to have fun, and Roger Goodell. Well, actually, I could have just said people who don't like to have fun. I'm going to take the over in this game for the reason that Johnny said, that the Heineke likes to sling it. I'm not so sure about the 11 points. That's a tough one. I'll take the Commanders in the 11. I think that it'll stay within that 11 points. The Eagles will just end up winning. I'm looking at a backdoor cover here, maybe on a Monday night backdoor cover situation with the Washington Commanders. So there you go. That is the entire slate. Who's ready to lock in their 3-pick parlay? Shall I go first?
Go.
All right. Mine is going to be Seahawks money line.
Ooh.
All right. The Dallas Cowboys laying 5. The Tennessee Titans laying 3. 720.
Ooh. That's a fair 720. I wanted to do Moneyline Madness, so there wasn't the third one I liked. So what's juicier than that than an over? So I'm going to go with the Arizona Cardinals-Rams game going over, and then Cardinals money line, Seahawks money line for a plus 907.
This guy, man, with the money line. So I'm going to take Arizona and Seahawks money line. So all three of us money line with the Seahawks. Like it. So we will be texting each other Sunday morning. We will be texting
Hell
each other.
yes. Dude, I cannot wait to have my coffee, be watching this game on a Sunday. Like, I love, we've talked about it. I fucking love a Sunday morning in the fall, and I love a football Sunday morning in the fall. Ugh.
I hate working.
But my last one is going to be the under for the Houston Giants game.
907.
Oh, equal as mine.
Let's briefly take a look at our 3-man DK showdown from last week, which I believe this time was won by Anthony.
All I know is I had Justin Fields, and that if you
That's
had
all you
either
need to
Justin,
have.
if you had Justin Fields or Joe Mixon, you won. If you had both, that's legendary.
Yeah.
Getting 100 points from 2 players. Oh yeah, you won.
In third place, he sucks again. It's Johnny Ortiz. He had Tua and nobody else. It was a big mess. A lot of frosty icons on that screen. I beat John by 20 points roughly. I had Tua also and Etienne, who had a nice day, and then a bunch of frosty icons. Jalen Waddle was fine. The Tua Jalen Waddle stack was nice, but it was still wrong. It was the wrong stack. Felly, Justin Fields, 45 points. Jets defense had a nice day, and it didn't matter. Nothing else mattered. Eckler had a nice day. Cordarrelle, Jalen Waddle, Darnell Mooney all had fine days, but Justin Fields, you win. So that was a 35-point victory for Felly, 150.82 to 116.08. Congratulations, Felly. So now it's time to take a look back at week 9 in the Always Sunday Fantasy Football League. We had ourselves a barn burner and a couple of matchups.
My hero this week is the Gotham Rogues.
Oh, baby.
Gotham Rogues, who was on a three loss streak, just not just starting to just die, comes around in a game where you needed to start get yourself back into track because you're starting to lose he led his division. So he came out, scored a decent 142 on an opponent who could have for sure blew up, and luckily for them, he didn't. But for this week, the Rogues coming out, finally taking a dub after almost a month of poopy doopiness. Gonna give him a little hero love.
Nice. That's very sweet of you. Who's your GOAT?
My GOAT was actually from my key matchup for this week.
Oh, nice.
Was
Love it when that happens.
Yeah, right. It's huge. It was the battle of those bum ass people, the exposed. 11 amateurs versus the drunken bums. 11 amateurs comes up and beats him by 30, a little over 30 points. My man starts 2 goose eggs. I mean, the two goose eggs. And a problem, the reason I just want to throw it in there, because just like the management and coaching in actual NFL has been a problem, my man is a pure example. He got rid of the defense multiple situation. He's got 3 tight ends that 2 are on a bye this week and 2 QBs. Fam, you gotta get it together. That's why you started 2 goose eggs.
He started something called James Mitchell.
Who?
And another player, Demir Bird.
Who?
John was an owl right there. Who? Well, yeah, I guess you figured since Hawkinson's gone, this guy's just going to step up and be Hawkinson. I don't know. Goose eggs, 2 of them. My man's second lowest score of the week with a 105. Sorry.
Yeah, that's bad. Like, I almost hope he does make the playoffs so that in case I run into him, you know what I mean?
Oh, nice little easy dub.
Jesus Christ. This dude doesn't know what he's doing. He started Demir Bird. And let me get again. James
yes, John, those who's are
Mitchell.
Perfect.
James Mitchell, bro.
Because it was the battle of the exposed, but like, look at my man. He scored almost a 140, but it's Patrick Mahomes with a 40, basically. Jefferson 25. Kenneth Walker, you're welcome for 30.
He's the ultimate stars and scrubs team.
Yeah, everybody else is straight bum city. He had 3 players score a 1. He had 4 players score under 3.
That's why it's literally called the drunken bum.
No, this was the amateurs.
This is the
This
guy who won the
guy
game.
was the match of the exposed. If you just look at their roster, exposure, it was almost like it grouped it in like number order. It was like bigger numbers, and then it's just one digit all the way down. It's 11 amateurs, very lucky. It was but yeah, the bums. You are drunk this whole season, fam. Put together.
John, tell me something good. Who's your hero?
My hero of the week is the Totter Fight Club. So my key matchup last week was the bottom of the barrel. Who's getting the bottom of the barrel beer, that 30-pack of Natty Ice that you got in college? That was my key matchup. All right. And who would take the bottom of the barrel? Who would rise above that? It would be the Tyler Fight Club, scoring 179.48 points, being the highest scoring player of the week, led by no other than Joe Mixon with a whopping 60.10 points and 35 points from the New England Patriots defense. Everybody else was pretty but when you got a guy that scores 60 points, it's going to be really, really hard to beat. So for that, the Tyler Fight Club is my hero for the week. So my GOAT of the week is going to be the lowest score of last week, and that's going to be the Moth.
Ooh.
He scored 99.10 points against the lowly Golden Showers, 108.64. Oof. You just straight suck, man. I mean, you haven't won in quite some time. You're 3-6 right now. You have the same record as the Tyler Fight Club, and you're sitting pretty dangerous right now. Being 3-6 right now, you basically need to. If you got 1 or 2 losses, you're not. It's not good for you. Pretty much the entire team scored in single digits, minus 3 players, which was Geno Smith, Jalen Waddle, and Darnell Mooney. Holla at your boy, Justin Fields. And everybody else scored in single digits. So was simply just not a good performance. He definitely got exposed. And for that, the Moth is my GOAT of the week.
In a very winnable game, 108.
Yes, very much. Yep, it was right there in front of him, and he blew it. Another team who blew it was Team Blumpkin. Blew it right on the toilet.
Oh, whoa! I need a right there.
He started a 0 from Robert Woods. He lost his game to the Sizzler by a score of 153.7 to 121.3. Okay, he fell from 5-3 to 5-4. He could not separate himself. He's still in that log jam. Dante Foreman, the magic wore off, and he fell out of first place in the division. He tumbled all the way to 5th place, from 2nd in the league to 5th, and now he's in the mess, and he's going to be battling week in and week out now, instead of being able to separate himself in the J-Chuck division. And for that, Team Blumpkin is my GOAT. And my hero this week, in the closest game of not only the week, but the year, is PB&J, winning by 0.7 points, 0.7 of a point, 7 yards. And not only did he win by 7 yards, he won by 7 yards on Monday night in the 4th quarter, on Alvin Kamara's very last touch. It was a catch and a 14-yard run. 7 of those yards were what put John over the top for the dramatic late upset win. Going into the week, it didn't look like PBJ had much of a chance. His roster was a little questionable, going against a by all accounts, a competitor who was a little bit better on paper, and both teams sort of underperformed, but Justin Fields Johnny picked up Justin Fields to be his new quarterback, plugged him into his roster, and for the first week, Justin Fields comes off the waiver wire to score 49.72 points. Now, the rest of John's team was really bad. John should have lost that game, but Justin Fields scored 49.7 points, which that 0.72 is what put John over the top. You can look at it any way you want, whether Kamara scored it at the end or Fields scored it at the beginning. But that move was what scored John a win and bumped him right up into first place in his division. He's now 6-3, second place in the league. And for that, Pretty Boy Johnny is my hero.
Especially when it's a roster move, right? When you pick up a waiver wire pick that wins you the week.
Yep. And that's a waiver wire pick. That's a waiver wire pick that would,
managing.
Yeah. I mean, exactly right. Aaron Rodgers, that's a big name. I'm going to get rid of him. I'm going to go with somebody else who looks like he's playing a little hotter right now. And he did what he needed to do. It's good. Sometimes, going with the hotter player and not the name value or not the person who was drafted higher actually works out. It's weird.
Ceiling, baby, ceilings.
And so with that being said, we'll just take a look really quickly after 9 weeks at the standings, because we have now 5 teams that are stuck at 5-4. Okay. And that is 11 amateurs. I'm sorry. The Golden Showers, Team Blumpkin, the Gotham Rogues, and the Drunken Bums. Now, these teams range in scores anywhere from the high 1200s, 1274, right down to about 100 points below that.
I'm 5-4 too.
Oh, you are? You're 5-4 as well? Okay, so there's, what did I say, 5 teams? Oh, and I only listed 4 of them. That's right. Okay, so you're in there as well, but we have teams that are scoring between 1274 and about 1170. And then there's the Golden Showers, who has 1,300 points and sitting at 5-4. So if you're looking at who's got the advantage in that group, it's still the Golden Showers, who we broke down a couple of weeks ago as being one of the stronger teams, okay? And moving forward, points scored is going to be a big deal, okay? So who's not leaving players on their bench? And the fun thing about bye weeks going all the way through the rest of the regular season is that you need to be planning ahead. Last week we saw what happened when Anthony didn't plan ahead. Now, yeah, he got beat by a lot of points, but he also didn't score a lot of points. And that's going to be really, really paramount for these teams who are jumbled up, because the first place team, the second place team, and the third place team only have a 1-game advantage. However, one of those teams has 1,179 points, one has 1,245 points, and one has 100 more points than that. So we're looking at a pretty significant separation between these 3, 6, and 3 teams as well. So I think that points scored might have more to say.
With the week.
Sorry?
Yeah, like the one from the 3 has a week on them. Yeah, for us, I think like it should, like our average, for a good, it should like a 140, right? I think
it's probably more like 120, 130. But regardless, I think you're 100% right. It's like playing a whole extra game,
right?
And I think that going forward, obviously we're going to have some records that are going to be better than others, and that's fine. But maybe more than any other season, we're going to see that points scored is going to say a lot about who makes the playoffs, who doesn't make the playoffs, and what position everybody sits in. Points scored this year might have more to say about who's our champion than the actual final records for the 6 playoff teams.
It's going to be so close. It's going to be decided by that for sure.
Because seeding.
Yeah, the Golden Shower scored over 200 twice. And we were saying how great he is. And is it 2 weeks or 3 weeks now that he has just been poopy doopy? 108 last week. I think it was like a 120 the week before. Lost both of those. Well, he should have lost this past week. But I think it was the past 3 weeks. He won last week, but because the moth is poop.
Scheduling is huge.
Scheduling is huge. So speaking of which, hey, Anthony, who's your key matchup for next week?
My key matchup is the exposed Drunken Bums versus the recently somewhat exposed Golden Showers. Right, both 5-4. Right, so these are one of those teams. The they're kind of in the middle of their division, and this is a huge game for both of these guys because they need a win to stay in that line because they're a game behind already. You got to get it. You have to keep winning. This is a very important one. He's got I think Golden Showers. He has a few people on a bye. He might have a chance. Maybe if he gets rid of a couple tight ends or something.
He's not gonna get it. He's not gonna understand it.
He'll play 3 tight ends.
Sure, why not? James
Dude,
Mitchell.
you got 2 flex spots. I mean,
you can play as many as 3 tight ends. You're allowed to do that.
Yeah. Well, I hope I play against that guy.
My key matchup for this week is going to be the Rogues versus 11 amateurs and 1 pro. Now, Gotham Rogues is right now sitting at 6th place with a 5-4 record, while the 11 amateurs just pulled off a win against the exposed matchup of last week. Both teams won last week, but both teams need to win in order to stay competitive within their respective divisions. If the Gotham Rogues wins this week, he puts himself in a position where he could separate himself in the J-Chuck division, whereas 11 amateurs and 1 pro needs to pull off a victory in order for him to keep up with Sweep the Leg at the Baldwin division. And for that is my key matchup of the week.
My key matchup features you two fine gentlemen that I'm speaking with right now. That's right. PBJ versus the Sizzler. PBJ at 6-3, 2nd place in the league. Sizzler 5-4, technically 7th place in the league because of the points scored. His points scored is considerably lower than the other 5-4 teams. However, right in line pretty much with where PBJ is, if I'm not mistaken. This PBJ team coming off a huge win, emotional win. Okay, this is a gigantic letdown spot for the PBJ because you cannot expect Justin Fields to score 40 points every week. However, he does have Saquon Barkley back in his lineup. He has Amari Cooper back in his lineup. So it looks like for the most part, the lineup is at full strength, not really being affected too much by buys. Anthony, another team that had been dealing with bye weeks for the last couple of weeks, but now looks like he's got everybody more or less back on track. So, this looks like 2 teams that are putting their best foot forward, and both of them dramatically need wins. They really, 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 really need wins here because they're not scoring a lot of points. So they need to keep their records good. Both of them have disadvantages if they end up in ties against other teams. So unless one of them explodes and scores like 200 points this week, then the win is going to be more valuable than maybe another team's win might be this week. So that's my key matchup for this week. Good luck to both of you guys.
I'll take both. I'll take the win and 200 points. Thank you.
Sure. Well, shit. If you score 200 points, you damn well better win. I'll say that.
Oh my God! Imagine a head-to-head with 2 teams that score over 200.
It's bound to happen eventually. It would be fun to watch. It would definitely be fun to watch. And that's it, guys. That's our recap. I will see you in week 10, where it's always Sunday.
New York.